Olivier Ntcham waited with bated breath for his first taste of the derby clash with Sampdoria after joining Genoa on a 2-year loan from Manchester City in August 2015. It is the smell of it he is likely to remember most, though, with acrid smoke filling his lungs and stinging his eyes as a torrent of red flares rained down on the pitch and forced his first game against his new city rivals the following January to be held up as firefighters extinguished flames and cleared away debris. When the action finally did get underway, Ntcham lasted just 45 minutes in the maelstrom before being substituted. Sampdoria's fans had assailed him with fireworks pre-match, and their players had scored twice before he was taken off, making it 3-0 shortly after the break before a frantic finish saw Genoa, down as the home team that afternoon in the shared Luigi Ferraris Stadium, pull it back to 3-2. The 22-year-old midfielder only turned out once more in the Derby della Lanterna during his time in Serie A, playing all 90 minutes as Genoa went down 1-0 in March 2017. It is a fixture he will never forget, though, and he insists that stepping into the Lions' den again at Ibrox on Sunday, an unused substitute when Celtic won 2-0 there earlier in the season, will not hold a candle to it in terms of heat, hostility and all-round madness. When I was in Italy, the derby was Genoa against Sampdoria. It was crazy, he said. The fans threw flares and fireworks on the pitch, and you would have to stop the game for 10 or 15 minutes before you were able to play on. It was intense. There was a lot of smoke, but we didn't go back into the dressing rooms. None of the players were hurt. We just waited until we could see properly again. The supporters were more crazy than when I went to Ibrox. The Rangers fans are also crazy, but they respect the players and they don't throw flares. Celtic teammate Scott Brown may disagree with part of that assertion, at least. Ntcham's club captain was approached on the field by an angry Rangers fan when Brendan Rodgers' side secured a record-breaking 5-1 win in Govan towards the end of last season and will certainly be given a hot reception this time round too. Ntcham is clear in his view, though, that Brown's influence as the driving force of the Celtic side will be hugely important as they endeavour to open up real daylight between themselves and their city rivals at the top of the Ladbrokes Premiership. And of course, he is an important player for us, the captain of the team, said Ntcham. He's used to playing in derbies and winning them. He always talks me through the games. I can even understand what he says. In the huddle, he fires us up and pushes the team. Being fired up is one of Brown's specialities. The Fifers' celebrations at Pittodrie, after managing to right a reckless tackle from Aberdeen forward Sam Cosgrove, were proof positive of that. It was great, recalled Ntcham. Maybe I will do that as well one day. The Frenchman, however, comes across as rather less enthused about his side's next big game. For all the attention it will be given over the coming days, Ntcham gives the distinct impression, amid all the talk of flares and fireworks in Genoa, that he feels the Old Firm derby really is not all that. Whatever, it is impossible to accuse him of being intoxicated by the build-up to the third showdown of the campaign between Glasgow's Big Two. Asked if next Sunday's game would attract a degree of attention back in his native France, he replied, "I don't really think so, but maybe. Maybe. For me, it is just like any other match. The pressure is different, but it is still a game. And of course, victory for Rangers next weekend would cut the gap at the top of the Premiership table to just 3 points, with the Ibrox club having played a match more. Having racked up 5 straight wins ahead of Sunday's William Hill Scottish Cup quarter-final with Falkirk, Graham Murty's side are building up a considerable head of steam. Ntcham insists he has not been paying the slightest bit of attention to their matches, though. "I don't really watch them," he insisted. "I just watch Celtic. There is no question that, in the wake of a hectic spell which has involved 2 games a week in addition to European exertions, Ntcham and his teammates appreciate the week-long build-up which they will have ahead of the visit to Ibrox." "It's very useful for us. We can actually work as opposed to playing, recovering, playing," said the Northern Irishman. "We can do some specific work. You want to be successful, and in the competitions, but when you are playing so many games, that real work in terms of the tactical element can be affected. It gives us a good week to prepare for the Rangers game. We want to have greater time to work with the players, of course, but if you don't, it's hopefully because you are doing well. The gaps are in the program to allow you to be more specific, and every coach wants the chance to work with the players." Winger Patrick Roberts has recently returned to the development squad following 3 months out with a hamstring injury. However, looking ahead to Ibrox, Rodgers insists that this is no time of the season to use games as a means of building up fitness in the likes of the Englishman and German defender Marvin Comper, who played 83 minutes in the 3-0 Scottish Cup win over Morton yesterday, when there are domestic trophies on the line. "It's important to have him available, but it's also not the time of the season where there are fitness games," said Rodgers. "The games are for winning. It's great to have the ability, but, hopefully, we'll be able to work them through to some decent level of fitness. This is the stage of the season we have preparing for, but we want to have them available, and I am sure we will do. It's great to have them back fit. The next ones are Stuart Armstrong and Lee Griffiths, getting them back, and then we have a real strong quota of players."